Garden Makeover 2025, budget-friendly landscaping with recycled ideas. 2025, the vision of a home garden is no longer just a patch of greenery tucked behind the house. It has become a true extension of architecture, lifestyle, and self-expression. The garden is no longer separate from the home's identity, but a natural continuation of its design philosophy. Across neighborhoods, homeowners are seeking outdoor spaces that balance beauty with sustainability, affordability with imagination, and trends with timeless appeal. This new direction in landscaping highlights recycled ideas as not only a budget-conscious strategy, but also as a deliberate statement about values and creativity. It's about proving that style and environmental responsibility can walk hand in hand, reshaping the way we think about outdoor living. The architectural language of gardens in this era emphasizes layers, textures, and narratives. Instead of relying on sterile, mass-produced elements, more people are turning toward repurposed materials, allowing their gardens to tell stories of renewal and reinvention. Broken pottery is transformed into colorful mosaics. Weathered wood finds new life as raised beds. Rusted metal evolves into sculptural accents. These materials do not just fill a functional role, they add history, depth, and a sense of character that store-bought decor can rarely match. It's architecture in miniature, where each piece, even the discarded and overlooked, is carefully curated to contribute to a harmonious whole. Sustainability has become the leading design principle. As global awareness of climate challenges intensifies, homeowners are realizing that every choice, whether it's a paving stone, a border, or a planter, carries an environmental impact. Traditional landscaping once leaned heavily on wasteful practices, from chemical-laden lawns to disposable furniture. In contrast, the modern garden thrives on resourcefulness. The concept of urbanite, using broken concrete slabs as a substitute for stone, illustrates this perfectly. These fragments, destined for landfill, now pave rustic paths that feel intentional, warm, and inviting. Similarly, reclaimed bricks, vintage tiles, or even simple logs line garden beds, not only reducing costs but embedding the space with individuality. Raised garden beds exemplify the union of function and form. By turning discarded pallets, crates, or corrugated metal into structured planters, homeowners bring depth and rhythm to their yards. The appeal here is twofold. First, the cost savings of not having to purchase new lumber, and second, the organic beauty of materials that bear the marks of previous use. A weathered plank or a dented metal sheet, once overlooked, becomes a canvas of authenticity, reflecting the gardener's ingenuity. When untreated or heat-treated wood is chosen, these beds become safe havens for vegetables, herbs, and edible landscapes, merging practicality with health-conscious living. The furniture within these outdoor sanctuaries reflects the same philosophy. Instead of shiny new showroom pieces, the trend favors discovery, reinvention, and character. Salvage yards, flea markets, and garages are treasure troves of potential. A worn ladder morphs into a tiered vertical planter. Mismatched chairs, when repainted in a cohesive palette, form an eclectic yet unified dining nook. A weathered door becomes a rustic tabletop anchored by repurposed legs. Even the humble tire, painted in striking hues, doubles as a stool or a whimsical planter. The old bathtub, once a relic of the past, emerges as a centerpiece flower bed or water feature, playful yet elegant. These creations reflect not just budget-friendly choices, but the joy of making something personal, meaningful, and enduring. Water conservation has risen to architectural prominence within the garden. Every thoughtful design in 2025 is attentive to how resources flow and how they are preserved. Repurposed rain barrels are a hallmark of this movement. Whether painted with abstract motifs or clad in mosaic tile, they serve as both utility and art. Graywater systems built from salvaged pipes direct household runoff to nourish plants, showing how ingenuity can cut costs and reduce strain on natural resources. These systems integrate seamlessly into the visual fabric of the garden, reinforcing the message that sustainability can be beautiful. Space-saving strategies are equally influential. Vertical gardening, for instance, has transformed tight urban yards and balconies into lush green walls. Tin cans, old shoe organizers, and repurposed bottles, mounted cleverly on walls or fences, transform blank spaces into vibrant canvases of life. These vertical gardens are functional, growing herbs or flowers, but they are also decorative statements, bridging the line between architecture and living art. They maximize square footage while infusing even the smallest corner with personality and vitality. When dusk arrives, lighting takes center stage. Gone are the days of expensive store-bought outdoor fixtures. In their place, solar-powered jars, antique lanterns, and thrifted chandeliers breathe atmosphere into the evening garden. A mason jar with a solar insert glows warmly along a path, while a salvaged chandelier suspended from a pergola and strung with soft LED bulbs radiates charm and intimacy. The interplay of shadow and light transforms the garden into an inviting sanctuary, extending its usability into the night and enriching its mood. At the heart of all these trends lies a deeper truth. The garden is no longer a decorative afterthought, but a reflection of personal values. It embodies sustainability, creativity, and individuality. By embracing recycled ideas, homeowners are not just cutting costs. They are making a stand for a greener planet and a more imaginative world. Every brick, every pallet, every repurposed item carries with it the spirit of transformation. And in this transformation, gardens of 2025 are not simply outdoor areas. They are testaments to resilience, artistry, and the enduring bond between humans and the spaces they shape. As we move deeper into the transformation of garden design in 2025, the emphasis shifts from individual recycled elements toward the larger picture of style, atmosphere, and architectural coherence. A garden today is not just a patchwork of clever ideas. It is a carefully orchestrated environment where trends, materials, and natural rhythms blend into a seamless experience. This holistic perspective acknowledges that a garden is as much about the mood it creates as the materials from which it is built. In this second wave of exploration, the focus is on trends in style, the fusion of indoor and outdoor living, and the cultural influences shaping how we design landscapes in the present and anticipate them in the future. The aesthetic direction of gardens in this decade leans heavily toward what might be described as eco-modern rustic. It is a balance of clean lines and natural textures, minimalism infused with warmth. Where the past once prized immaculate lawns and ornamental fountains, today's homeowners value authenticity and organic charm. Rough-hewn timber, aged stone, and weathered metals are integrated alongside sleek furniture, modular decking, and energy-efficient lighting systems. The result is a space that feels both grounded and contemporary, an oasis that mirrors current architectural trends inside the home while retaining the character of the outdoors. One of the most significant movements driving these styles is biophilic design, the philosophy of integrating nature directly into our living spaces. This approach has spread from interiors, where natural light and greenery are prioritized, into the garden itself, which becomes a flowing continuation of indoor architecture. Sliding glass doors open into decks furnished with upcycled seating. Pergolas shaded with climbing vines blur the distinction between roof and canopy. Textures are chosen not merely for visual effect, but for the sensory experience they provide underfoot or in hand. Smooth stone paths give way to soft, mossy corners, while reclaimed wood benches invite touch with their worn surfaces. Every element becomes part of an immersive dialogue between human comfort and natural vitality. Cultural diversity plays an increasingly important role in shaping trends as well. Gardens in 2025 reflect a global palette of inspiration, borrowing freely from traditions around the world while interpreting them through the lens of sustainability. Japanese Zen gardens, with their emphasis on tranquility and minimalism, inspire gravel pathways and recycled wood decking arranged with deliberate simplicity. Mediterranean courtyards contribute terracotta planters, mosaic patterns from repurposed tiles, and vibrant bursts of herbs and flowering plants that thrive in dry climates. African influences emerge in bold colors painted on recycled drums, repurposed its planters, while Scandinavian design principles emphasize function, restraint, and connection to natural materials. Each recycled item becomes not just a cost-saving choice, but a way of embedding cultural richness and layered meaning into the space. Technology, too, has a subtle yet powerful influence. While the garden of 2025 is rustic and eco-conscious in spirit, it is also enhanced by discrete innovations. Solar panels integrated into recycled pergola frames provide energy for lighting and small water features. Smart irrigation systems built from salvaged tubing and connected to household devices ensure that plants are watered with precision, conserving every drop. Portable speakers disguised in repurposed pottery distribute music throughout the space, while solar-powered lamps fashioned from jars and lanterns extend usability after sunset. These features highlight a trend that defines this era. Technology serves not as a dominant aesthetic, but as a supportive partner to sustainability, quietly embedded in recycled forms that align with the garden's personality. Plant choices, too, reflect a shift in style. Monoculture lawns, once a symbol of suburban pride, are giving way to diverse, layered plantings that are both practical and poetic. Edible landscapes featuring herbs, vegetables, and fruit trees are integrated into flower beds, proving that beauty and productivity need not be separate. Drought-tolerant plants, succulents, ornamental grasses, and native species reduce reliance on water while offering architectural silhouettes and vibrant seasonal displays. Vertical gardens filled with trailing ivy, bright nasturtiums, or edible greens introduce color and life into walls and fences. The combination of recycled planters and sustainable plant palettes speaks directly to the values of the era: resilience, creativity, and adaptability. Another defining trend is the revival of communal and interactive garden spaces. Rather than viewing the garden as a private retreat alone, homeowners are increasingly designing it as a social hub. Patios built from reclaimed stone host communal dining tables made from recycled doors, surrounded by mismatched yet repainted chairs. Fire pits crafted from salvaged metal drums become gathering spots for evenings under the stars. Outdoor kitchens, often assembled from repurposed counters or brickwork, expand the functionality of gardens, transforming them into venues for entertaining as well as living. These spaces reflect a cultural desire for connection, where recycled design does more than save money. It invites people to share, collaborate, and enjoy the environment together. Water elements continue to evolve in style, serving both aesthetic and ecological functions. Repurposed bathtubs or basins are reimagined as reflective ponds filled with lilies and aquatic plants that support biodiversity. Small waterfalls created from stacked reclaimed stone bring movement and sound to the space, soothing the senses. Even in compact urban gardens, upcycled containers host miniature aquatic features, proving that water can find a place in any design. This trend reflects the broader movement towards sensory richness in the garden. Spaces are not only seen but heard, touched, and felt as living ecosystems. Lighting design, while rooted in recycled creativity, has matured into an art form of its own. Beyond mason jars and lanterns, designers experiment with layering light to create mood. Low-level pathway lights guide steps with subtlety, while canopy lights made from recycled chandeliers cast dramatic shadows through foliage. Solar-powered fairy lights, woven through trellises, bring whimsical sparkle to summer evenings. These lighting choices emphasize ambience, extending the garden's architectural language into nighttime and ensuring it remains a sanctuary around the clock. Altogether, the stylistic evolution of gardens in 2025 reflects a merging of the practical and the poetic. Homeowners seek not only to stretch budgets and recycle materials, but also to cultivate a deeper connection between the garden and their lives. It is about creating an environment that resonates with personal identity, cultural heritage, and contemporary values. The garden is no longer peripheral, it is central, a stage for daily rituals, social interactions, and creative expression. With recycled ideas as the foundation, the trends of the present carve a path toward a more integrated, meaningful, and stylish future for outdoor living. Looking forward, the gardens of 2025 are more than reflections of present-day style. They are blueprints for the future of outdoor living, sustainability, and architectural expression. As we consider the trends shaping what comes next, it becomes clear that gardens will continue to evolve into multifunctional, environmentally intelligent, and deeply personal spaces. The innovations seen today are only the beginning of a broader movement that combines tradition, technology, and ecological awareness in ways that promise to redefine our relationship with nature and design. The first element that stands out in the future of garden architecture is adaptability. Climate change, urban density, and shifting lifestyles are pushing homeowners to think about gardens not just as decorative spaces, but as flexible systems that serve multiple purposes. A single courtyard might host food production, rainwater collection, and relaxation zones simultaneously. Recycled elements will continue to play a central role, not only as cost-saving solutions, but also as a practical response to scarcity of resources. Concrete and metal will increasingly be reclaimed from demolished buildings, transformed into modular garden structures, and assembled with the efficiency of architectural kits. Gardens will no longer be static. They will be designed to evolve with time, able to adapt as needs and environmental conditions change. Another defining feature of the coming era is the rise of self-sustaining ecosystems within the garden. The idea of permaculture, designing landscapes that work harmoniously with natural systems, will become standard practice. Rainwater harvesting systems built from recycled barrels or tanks will be paired with natural filtration ponds that purify gray water for reuse. Composting areas, constructed from reclaimed wood or bricks, will transform kitchen waste into nutrient-rich soil. Pollinator-friendly planting, featuring wildflowers and native species, will attract bees, butterflies, and birds, restoring biodiversity to even the smallest urban yards. By weaving these systems into the design, the garden of the future becomes less of a consumption-driven space and more of a regenerative, life-supporting microcosm. The cultural meaning of gardens will also expand. Beyond being sanctuaries of beauty, they will evolve into platforms for storytelling, heritage preservation, and personal identity. Families will incorporate heirloom plants, inherited furniture, or salvaged architectural fragments from ancestral homes into their designs, embedding memory into the landscape. A recycled wooden gate might carry the patina of generations, while a mosaic of broken ceramics could tell a visual story of place and culture. These gardens will serve as living archives where recycled objects bridge the past and the future, transforming outdoor spaces into meaningful narratives of continuity and resilience. Technology, while discreet in the present, will take on an even more sophisticated role moving forward. Smart systems will allow gardens to respond dynamically to environmental cues. Sensors made from recycled components will monitor soil moisture, air quality, and light levels, automatically adjusting irrigation or shading to maintain balance. Solar power, harvested through panels incorporated into pergolas or trellises, will energize not only lighting, but also charging stations for household devices. Even recycled glass tiles embedded with photovoltaic cells may become a design staple, turning pathways into energy-generating surfaces. These integrations will make gardens hubs of innovation, places where cutting-edge sustainability quietly enhances everyday life. A growing emphasis will also be placed on inclusivity and accessibility. Future garden trends highlight spaces that are welcoming to people of all ages, abilities, and lifestyles. Raised beds constructed from recycled crates or pallets will not only serve as practical growing stations, but also make gardening accessible to those who cannot bend or kneel. Smooth recycled stone pathways will improve mobility for wheelchairs or strollers. Seating areas will be designed with flexibility, allowing families and communities to gather in comfort. These adjustments reflect a broader recognition that gardens are not just for show, but for living. Spaces where everyone should feel a sense of belonging and ease. As communities rethink their collective outdoor environments, public and shared gardens are likely to expand in prominence. Apartment complexes, urban neighborhoods, and even office developments are already beginning to integrate shared garden spaces built with recycled infrastructure. Here, communal compost bins, rainwater harvesting systems, and edible landscapes become resources for everyone. These gardens foster collaboration, education, and connection, transforming outdoor areas into vibrant centers of community life. They embody a future where gardens are not simply private retreats, but shared assets that strengthen bonds between people and their environments. The artistic dimension of future gardens will also flourish. Designers are increasingly treating recycled gardens as canvases for creativity. Sculptures crafted from metal scraps, furniture fashioned from driftwood, or walls clad in patchwork mosaics of salvaged tiles will dominate visual trends. Each element will serve as both art and utility, embodying the principle that design can be expressive while remaining practical. Seasonal installations, perhaps made from biodegradable or repurposed materials, will allow gardens to change their character throughout the year, offering ever-fresh inspiration. This blend of function, sustainability, and art will ensure that gardens remain dynamic, relevant, and emotionally resonant spaces. Lighting and ambiance in the future will continue to evolve into immersive experiences. Beyond practical illumination, gardens will use recycled fixtures to choreograph light in ways that engage the senses. Interactive solar lanterns may shift colors based on time of day or energy storage levels. Projection systems crafted from salvaged glass lenses could cast intricate patterns on pathways or walls, creating dreamlike environments for evening gatherings. Such innovations demonstrate how recycled design, paired with imagination, can elevate even the simplest backyard into a theater of light and life. Ultimately, the gardens of 2025 and beyond embody a philosophy that transcends cost-saving and decoration. They represent a cultural shift toward resilience, stewardship, and creativity. By embracing recycled ideas, homeowners are aligning themselves with a future where beauty is inseparable from responsibility. These spaces demonstrate that every backyard, courtyard, or balcony can become a green sanctuary, one that not only provides joy and comfort, but also contributes to a healthier planet. The true essence of the garden makeover movement lies in its ability to inspire, inspiring us to see potential in the discarded, to merge tradition with innovation, and to reimagine outdoor living as an evolving dialogue between people, architecture, and nature. In the years ahead, the garden will remain one of the most powerful symbols of human creativity. It will remind us that even in the face of environmental challenges, we can build spaces that are affordable, sustainable, and breathtakingly beautiful. The recycled garden is not just a trend of 2025, it is the seed of a lasting future, rooted in imagination, growing toward a world where every home carries within it a sanctuary of hope, harmony, and design brilliance.